Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. I'm your host Dave, and today's another podcast. I am solo today. Doug and Tyler are off doing their own thing. We did, however, film, or I should say record, another podcast which talked about the joyful events of toy hunting, but sadly Tyler got a little ill, so hopefully he recovers so we could finish that recording and have a nice episode for all of you. And it's really funny too. I can't wait to share some of that with you. But today, I'm by myself, and this whole podcast is all about me explaining to you what I've been doing with my life, what I'm working on for the channel, and what's to come. And I did read all the comments on the first podcast we did. I know some of you want to see photos if you're watching the video, and there will be photos on here, I promise you. Probably thumbnails I'm working on, different photos of items I mentioned. So I'll do that for you guys, because I know some of us are visual seers and learners, so don't worry, I got your back, because I'm one of you. So anyway, let's get started. What have I been up to? As many of you know, I am a special education instructional aide / teacher, and I was not laid off. Thank God. I got to keep my job. I work from home, and I have to contact one kid all week and their family, and, you know, if you believe in God or not, I thank whatever's out there that I still have a job, because there are many people out there that are suffering right now, and my heart goes out to any of you that are dealing with this and struggling. It is a crappy situation, but hopefully we'll all get through this sooner or later. As a history major, looking at this pandemic, this is the first time I've ever seen the whole entire world working together to stop a common problem. And I think that's something very important that not too many people are focusing on. Yes, we had allies in the Axis for World War II, and most of the world was on the Allies side and whatnot, but I'm talking about every single government, from China to America, all the way down to South America. Everybody's working to eradicate this virus, and that's kind of cool in a way. But anywho, I don't want to hark too much on that, because I'm here to entertain you. So moving on from there, getting back to what I've been doing in my personal life. Besides work, I've been studying my butt off for this Praxis 2 test. I was scheduled to take it in late April. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep studying my butt off, because if I pass that, then basically I could become a teacher, and that changes everything in my life, and I'm really excited about that. So for that, I've been studying science, history, math, a little bit of English, and it's a lot to cover. It really is. So I'm taking my time and just doing it hard. So hopefully that all works out. Besides all that, I'm quarantined, I'm stuck at home, and I'm not sick or anything. It's just I don't want to catch it, so I keep to myself, which is what I normally do. And it sucks, it really does, and I know it sucks for everybody, but to keep myself busy, besides studying, I've been catching up on Doctor Who. I missed the last 2 seasons. King of the Hill, I usually watch that in the morning when I wake up for breakfast. That's a funny cartoon. And then with my father and family, I gotta watch Better Call Saul, Westworld, and The Curse of Oak Island. And if anybody watches any of that, let me know in the comments below what you think so far, because I really enjoy those shows. I think they're really cool, and it helps the time pass. Besides watching shows, I've been doing a lot of thumbnails for the channel, taking photos, editing them to make them look nice with the logos and everything like that. And for me, I don't know, a lot of people make a thumbnail and it just, boom, it's finished. But with me, I could take a perfect photo and still, you gotta white out the background, and maybe I do it wrong. But what I do is, say I take a picture of a water bottle. I'll erase the background and then copy it, paste it onto a white background with all the logos and whatnot, and then arrange it as I see fit, rotate it, what have you. And that's basically what I do. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but it's like a system I have down packed. But a couple of them I've been working on, I'll show them right now. I got like a couple Daleks, some Star Wars, X-Wing, all that awesome stuff. Moving on from there, I've been really looking forward to organizing my collections. And I don't know if I could get a photo of this, but I've been working on Microsoft Excel, and I've been organizing all my collections into basically groups with their name, the release date, exclusivity if they came from GameStop, Target, Walmart, and what wave they're in, stuff like that. And so far, I organized all my Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, Armada, X-Wing version 2, and currently I am working on the Titanium series and the Hot Wheels Starships line. So hopefully when I have all them done, I'll post them either to my Facebook or maybe some sort of blog system, so that way everybody could see what I have, what I'm missing, and it's interesting to some, and for me as well, because I'm trying to collect all these damn things little by little. So in the collection world right now, I am not going out to stores. I am not going out for anything except if it's super essential, soaps, medicine, what have you. So in the field of Hot Wheels, I am done, son. I am not going to Walmart to look for Darth Maul's speeder at all. I look on eBay once in a while. It's astronomically high. So until all this is over, I doubt I'm finding anything new unless I see it cheap on the internet. And speaking of cheap on the internet and Hot Wheels, I did find a blue Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter, and I'll show a picture right here. I got it for a nice cheap price. It didn't come with a stand, which I'm kind of mad about. However, it was the original stand, so I'm not a fan of them anyway. And I have tons of backup stands, so boom, I'll put it on a stand and it will be awesome. Moving on to the Star Wars Titaniums. I did find a Star Wars Titanium Imperial Attack Cruiser. Basically, it's a white variant of the Venator from the Clone Wars. And I did find a Titanium Series Liberty, a Mon Calamari cruiser. And I'm still waiting to receive them. I did order them quite a while ago, so I hope I didn't get shafted with that. Moving on from there, a review coming up probably next month is a unopened Episode 1 Droid Starfighter in the box. I figured we could do an unboxing. I'll scan the back of the box and show everybody what, used to be on the backs, different Micro Machine items, Action Fleet, all that cool stuff. And I'm really excited about that, and I'll show a picture during me talking about it right here. But really cool stuff, and I really want to do a lot of videos like that where I can integrate a scanner or audio and really make my videos interactive in a way where you get to seem like you're looking at the back of a box or looking at directions or something like that. Just to make my videos more fun. I think they lack in that a little bit, even though I do have a nice fan base. Moving on now to Star Wars Armada. I do have the Onager class Star Destroyer, and I will be reviewing that this week coming up at some point. I promised everybody I would get to it, and I'm keeping my promise. I don't have that much work to do this week, so I'm really going to get on that. The hardest part about doing that whole review is getting every ship out on a table, including a Super Star Destroyer somehow, and trying to film all that in one frame or take a photo. So I'm kind of dreading that, but I'll get it done. But expect that review coming up very shortly. And now a couple of other things. For the Star Wars Black Series, I did receive the GameStop exclusive Jedi Knight Revan. And even though it's a repaint, I really like it. It has some soft goods, hard plastic for the rest of his tunic, hood, and whatnot. But there's just something about the purple lightsaber, the armor, that Mandalorian helmet, or Mandalorian-esque helmet. I think it's a Mandalorian helmet. During the Mandalorian Wars, he took it or whatnot. But a really interesting figure. And I did post some photos on my Instagram and Facebook, and there should be a photo of this figure up right now so you guys could see it, and it's just really cool. I'm a really big fan. Moving on from there to the other end of the galaxy, I've been really into Doctor Who for a long time, and I know the popularity of the show has drastically decreased, in America anyway, since Matt Smith's departure, and I've never really lost interest. I liked Peter Capaldi, who was the 12th Doctor, or technically the 13th, but once he turned into a woman, I started watching it, and my father kind of lost it a little bit, and then I stopped watching for a while. But lately, I got back into it, I started watching it again, and I will say this, season 11, I liked the first 2 episodes. I thought they were great. The girl who fell from the sky or something like that, and the ghost monument. But then the rest of the season kind of, I don't know. It didn't really have a story arc for the most part, and I don't know, it just was an adventure. So I kind of liked it because it was the Doctor, but it wasn't what the current Doctor Who used to be, if that makes any sense. There was no giant story arcs and anything like that, so it was just different, if that makes any sense. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. There was definitely some, I guess, like, you could call it SJW stuff, but I don't know. I really try not to pay attention to any of that garbage. I just tried to enjoy it for what it was. Moving on to season 12, though, which is the current Doctor Who season, it was better. I will say this, it had a story arc. It kept me interested. Some of the episodes were garbage, but for the most part, I was very interested, and I'm gonna just say it. The last episodes, the 3-parter or 2-parter, I was ready to hate it. I've heard a lot of people like Gary from Nerderotic say it was garbage and destroyed Doctor Who history, which I guess it's 50-50. It sort of does, and it doesn't. Basically, what they did was, instead of the Doctor having 13 lives or 12 lives, depending on how you look at it, it turned out that the Doctor isn't from Gallifrey at all, and that he was, or she was, found underneath a portal from another dimension, another time, whatever. It doesn't really explain it that well. And this individual could regenerate non-stop, and the Time Lords found her, and basically this woman that took her in kept testing on her and I guess killing her after a while just to see how the regeneration works. It was kind of vague on that, but after a while the Time Lords discovered, okay, we cracked her genome and now we're going to spread it with all the higher-ups on Gallifrey and only limit it to 12 times you could die and be reborn. The Doctor was put into a special service called the Division, and they basically messed up time to suit their own needs. And then at the end of whatever the Doctor did, had his or her mind erased, so he or she couldn't remember anything, and then basically the Doctor regenerated and lived his life as we saw from the first Doctor on to now. And I thought that was very interesting. Did it destroy everything I knew, such as Omega or Rassilon, discovering time travel and all that? Not necessarily, because this just explains how regeneration was discovered, I guess we could say. I presume that even though the Time Lords have their own history on how regeneration happened, you could say the Time Lords made that up. I don't really know, but I guess it's all upon how you perceive the episode and the Doctor and stuff like that. But as of right now, and I have to rewatch it again because I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, it was very interesting ideas. I just want to watch it again to see how the execution was, because I really wasn't invested too much with the Cyberman subplot. I just wanted to know, what the hell is this timeless child and all this crazy stuff. So once I watch it again, and if people are interested, maybe I could talk about Doctor Who, because I live for this stuff. I love Doctor Who and Star Trek and all that. I could talk about this stuff for hours, and because of that, I gotta move on. So basically, since I've been watching Doctor Who, I have been collecting the Daleks, which are from the Doctor Who Eaglemoss collection, similar to the Star Trek collection where you could buy the different ships, but these are miniature figures. So you have all the different Doctors, their companions, allies, enemies, and the Daleks are probably the most iconic enemy ever in Doctor Who. They existed since the show was born in 1963, all the way to this year. I think there is a Dalek special coming around Christmas time, and I can't wait for that. I want to see what the Daleks could do. But for those who don't know, the Daleks come from a war-torn planet called Skaro. And on Skaro, there was a war between two peoples. Originally, they were called the Dals, but then they turned into Kalids. I guess they changed the names, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering. I'm not good at pronouncing different names and stuff like that, or the Khalids, I think it was. And then you had the other group of people. But basically, this huge war broke out, and they used bioweapons and nuclear bombs and this and that, and it got to a point where a scientist for the Khalids called Davros decided, basically all hell's gonna break loose, and all these different chemicals and radiations are gonna mess with us, and we're gonna mutate. So what he did was he made a travel machine, and the evolution of the Khalid became the Dalek. Basically, they usually look like green, messed up octopuses or squids, some sort of tentacle creature. Sometimes they have eyes, sometimes they don't. It depends on the creature effects at the time. But these creatures go inside one of these tanks that has a plunger for an arm and a cannon, and one eye on a dome that can rotate. And these creatures are amazing. I love the Daleks so much. They talk like this, And what's very interesting about this race of aliens is that not only are they super advanced and cunning, and I think they're one of the only enemies the Doctor faces that masters time travel. And it got to the point where the Daleks even stood up against the Time Lords. And if you're a fan of Doctor Who, you know about the Time War and how basically the Daleks were winning. And to me, that's really awesome because, the Daleks, you think they're just garbage cans with plungers, but they are deadly. I love the Daleks so much that I always wanted to buy these things. And sadly, since I live in America, they are super expensive to the point where, especially growing up, I could not buy them. We're talking like sometimes with the conversion of money and shipping, if I wanted to buy a Dalek from England, it would cost me over $20 sometimes. And to me, that was a little ridiculous. But what I have been doing, though, is from time to time, I buy one of the Dalek miniatures from Eaglemoss, and I reviewed several of them already. They're hit and miss. I know my audience isn't really, Doctor Who fans, so of course they're not going to be gangbuster numbers, but some people watch and are interested. And what's really neat about this miniatures collection is that there have been hundreds of different types of Daleks. From the original 1963 story all the way till this year. I'm sure there's going to be a new form at the end of the year. But each time there's different colors, different types. Daleks from the past, the future. And you have the Supreme Daleks, which are basically the generals, the leaders. And they're usually bigger with different colors. And what it boils down to is no two Daleks are exactly alike, and this collection makes them, all of them. I really enjoy it. I like having the different Daleks. They could be white, silver, black, yellow and black, red, and they just look very nice together. The reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I am going to do a collection video, once my last shipment comes in, of all the Daleks I've amassed in the past 2 years. And I'm going to shoot it and take my time, similar to my Hot Wheels collection. And I'm hoping all of you will join me for that, because I'm going to put a lot of care and heart into it. Because Doctor Who is something I've liked and loved ever since I was a little kid watching it with my father on PBS. Channel 13 used to air the original Doctor Who. And it's always been special. So it's like my love letter to that whole science fiction genre right there. It's such a great show. And I know a lot of people say it's dead now, but what are you gonna do? I guess times change and we gotta change with it, right? Having said all that, that's basically everything I've been working on and different things like that. I've been really trying to keep myself positive during all this, and hopefully with me ranting on and on, I'm entertaining you and letting you forget a little bit about the current situation we're in. Oh, it's really hot in here. Let me take a swig of nice, ice-cold Poland spring water, established in 1845, born in Maine. Refreshing. So, moving on from there, I want to talk a little bit about eBay. eBay is a great place to find different things, and this isn't a sponsor or anything like that. It's getting to a story, so trust me. Lately, I've been going on and looking for different Hot Wheels titanium ships just to piqued my interest of finishing my collection. And I found 2 items, and one of them I have a photo of, and that's what I'm going to talk about first. This photo you see before you I took a couple years ago, and I made a new one for the channel so it looked good with the white background, you know. Now this photo ended up on an eBay post, which I'll post right here. So I saw this and I went, wow, that looks familiar. And I went, oh my god, that's my photo. So I reached out to the seller and I said, hi, you know, my name's Dave, I run a YouTube channel, and I just wanted to let you know, it's like, I made that photo. And then he basically told me this story about, you know, I didn't mean nothing by it, I just saw it and went, oh, it's too good to pass up. So, you know, what am I going to do? I let him have it for that post, but after a couple of hours, it kind of disappeared, so it is what it is. I guess when you do or produce a lot of artwork like that, sooner or later somebody's going to take it and use it. I'm not saying I'm the best photographer in the world. I stress out with that stuff. You know, the depth of field, if you want to call it that. The back is fuzzy, the front is sharp, the back's sharp, the front's fuzzy. I have a real hard time with that. I'm more into film than photography, obviously. But I put a lot of work into that stuff. I really do. So when people take it, even though I'm flattered, it kind of aggravated me. So now, that's why if you look at my videos, now they have like a little logo on the right hand corner with the name of my channel. Because it kind of stinks when somebody takes your stuff. And moving on from there, talking about taking stuff. I was looking for Hot Wheels ships. And I gotta try and get a screenshot of this because I'm gonna post it right here. And if you look at this photo closely, you'll see a Hot Wheels Mon Calamari cruiser and a Hot Wheels Star Destroyer made into a ceiling fan, like a pole chain. They want $27.99 for this. Hold on, I'm speechless. $27.99. For a Mon Calamari cruiser that this person probably got at a Five Below and put a Home Depot chain on it so you could pull your fan. On one hand, I'm not going to lie, that's kind of awesome. If I had a ceiling fan in my room, maybe I would get that. But a Mon Calamari Hot Wheels cruiser, come on. That thing's a giant turd, I say it all the time. It's not even detailed good. Everybody loves this ship, I don't get it. Let me know, what am I missing here? I know there's a lot of people that love that ship that Hot Wheels made, and write in the comments, what do you like about it? I don't get it. The detail's watered down, the paint is horrible, and now this poor kid that's going to get this, it's going to be hanging from his ceiling fan. Why don't you just take a turd and rub it on his wall? Jesus Christ. But I almost talked for 30 minutes. What else could I mention? Just looking around. I haven't really been buying anything, to be honest. Most of the stuff that's being delivered I bought before this all happened. And, that's what I gotta say. Hopefully I work during the summer, because I'm a summer teacher. And with everything going on, the whole reality is up in the air. So I'm hoping this virus thing wraps up pretty quick. But I pre-ordered the Black Series, Empire Strikes Back figures, the Probe Droid, the Snow Speeder, and all that awesome stuff. And sadly, because I was afraid that I might not have a job, because I was supposed to be laid off with all my coworkers March 30th, which, thank the Lord, it didn't happen. But in fear of not having any money and needing that money to pay off my car and different payments that actually matter, I canceled all my pre-orders. So that way I would have money during the summer months. Now, if I still work during the summer, I will be getting those Black Series figures and that beautiful looking Snow Speeder, and I will review that Snow Speeder on my channel. That's a promise if I get it. It's just a really awesome looking ship. And hopefully everything works out and our current global situation ends quickly, or sooner rather than later. so that way everything goes back to normal. I think that's what everybody needs. Now, I almost been talking for like 30 minutes, and I just want to say before I end, and I don't mean to end it on a down or anything like that, but even though the global situation seems very bleak, and I know for some of you, it might be extremely bad. You could have family members or close friends that are affected by what's going on. And I have to say, don't give up hope. Keep positive. Keep busy. Don't lose track of your goals. And keep moving forward. I know some of you may have lost your jobs. But, this will pass sooner or later. And I'm right there with you. Comes June, if this isn't over, I'm unemployed. So I know what it's like. Luckily, I did not lose my job or anything like that. But I know many have, and my heart really goes out to all of you. It truly does. If I could, I wish I could just snap my fingers and help all of you out. But sadly, I can't even help myself. I live with my parents. What are you gonna do? But, keep positive. And to all my friends out there that are listening, all my close fans that I talk to on Facebook and stuff like that, be positive. Don't let this bring you down. Get little projects. Do something fun. And if you are feeling that bad, reach out to me. Talk to me. Don't let this depress you. Talk it out. Find somebody and deal with it together. Because that's what everything boils down to. Being quarantined, being stuck in your house, you got to rely on your family, your close friends, and it's through them that we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together. Boom. Be positive, and that's how I'm ending this video. I didn't mean to go on a spiel, but I just had to say something because there are a lot of people suffering right now. And I'm trying to entertain you. I'm trying to keep you guys from going down into the darkness. And I hope this works. I really do. And hopefully I'll have new reviews coming up, some other podcast, and I'll entertain you. It's all I could basically do, right? So, thank you very much for listening this far. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big like. And if you really want, give me your input. Write in the comments below if you liked it, if you want more, if you want to see something or hear me talk about something in particular. Let me know. Don't be shy or anything like that. I read every single comment, as many of you know, and I love the input, good or bad. Let me know what you're thinking. So, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to this. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.